Hi guys, welcome back to No Pictures on the Scorecard. This is Todd. We're coming at you from the back 9 at Searight Disc Golf Course in Austin, Texas. I am currently 2 over as I stand on the tee here. I've got my Mamba throwing a high anhyzer. I really like this throw. That was a really good throw. As you can see, I ended up in good shape here. I've got about 35 feet or so. Just going to try to throw this putter in and see if I can't make a birdie, get myself back down to 1 over. Didn't really run that very well. Ended up coming up short, but it's basically an easy drop-in par.
So the 11th hole here at Searight, it's not a long hole, but it does dogleg right at the basket. Basically, when you get inside circle 2, there's a dogleg right. I go back and forth with how to play this. The wind's in a little bit, so I think I'm going to take a fairly stable mid-range and give it a little extra juice, kind of throw it up in the air a little bit and see if I can't get it to drift back into the basket.
So my plan is to throw my disc through this little window right here and get it to hyzer to the basket, but with the wind coming in and how hard I had to throw it, it ends up flipping up on me.
So I've only been playing disc golf for, well, it's coming up on 3 years now. So I'm still trying to become more consistent. Obviously I need practice putting. I think I'm coming to the realization that I'm better off not throwing with more power unless I absolutely have to. If I can keep my throws under control more, I tend to do a little bit better. Let me know if that works for you.
So I'm 60 feet from the basket here. I'm giving this I guess you could call this giving this a run. I mean, from 60 feet. I'm not Paul Macbeth. I'm not really thinking I'm going to make this, but I come up short. It's an easy par though.
So this is the other par 4 here at Searight. Basically straight away. It kind of plays as a double dogleg-ish, but it's pretty much straight away. You really want to get a drive past this row of trees right here, and then you've got another tree in the middle of the fairway you kind of have to contend to, and then you're down to basically a small tunnel to where the basket is. But the important part is to get off the tee. If you can get past these trees, you should be okay.
I'm throwing one of my favorite discs here. It's a Trespass, and I do throw it a little up a little bit, but then it gets kind of an air bounce that drops it down, and I end up past the trees.
So if I'm being absolutely honest, I don't know what to do here. There's my disc. I got to avoid that tree, and the basket is kind of tucked down into the right, down this little tunnel down in here. I can't really see it, but man, you really have to keep the disc flying straight for a long time to get it to go down that tunnel and give yourself a look. Not entirely sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm thinking mid-range of some kind. I've got 252 feet, so I'm thinking just a solid mid-range that might flip up a little bit and just basically fly straight and then find its way down the tunnel.
So like I said, I've got 252 feet. I've got my verdict here, and I make a really good throw. I probably could have pushed this out to the left a little bit more, but it wasn't bad.
I'm pretty happy with that throw. Don't know if it got way down the tunnel, but I got it to flip up the way I wanted, and it found its way through the mouth of the tunnel. So I should have a look at a birdie here, but par in this hole is never a bad thing. You won't hear me complaining about pars.
So I've got 43 feet here. I'm definitely running this. There's no danger around this basket, so I may as well give it a run. And that is not a great putt. I'm not impressed with that.
Okay, so this is a quirky little hole out here. As you can see, it plays up these steps, and you can just see the basket up there. But there are bushes and stuff in the way, so you got to kind of play around those and see if you can find a way to get up these hills, up these steps, not hit any bushes, and get your disc to fade into the basket. For a right-hand backhand player, this is probably a fairly tough hole, unless you have pretty good power that you can put something on an anhyzer and get it to flex around the trees on the right and then hyzer back into the basket. But for some reason I have trouble with this hole. I don't know if it's just that it's a weird setup for me or it just doesn't fit my eye, but I usually try to play something that flexes out to the left and then hyzers back into the basket on my forehand.
All right, so I've got my trusty Trespass back out here. I'm going to try to throw this kind of medium height and get it a little nose up, and it's not a great powerful throw, but it's fine.
Sometimes during a round you just need to take a break. So in the interest of taking a break and then just enjoying the playing and being out in the scenery, here comes
got 99 feet here. I'm not running this. I'm just trying to get it close, playing for par. I didn't throw a super great tee shot, and that's fine. It's basically a drop in for par. The 14th hole at Searight is a big sweeping dogleg left. Not big, it's a small hole, but it sweeps a lot to the left, so I really struggle with this hole, although I am starting to get better with my backhands. I end up right here. This basket is kind of around this corner still. That's not the best upshot I've ever thrown, but it's fine. I just have to kind of step into the trees here and just make a par.
This course definitely has a lot of interesting holes, and this is one of them. It plays dramatically downhill. The difference between this hole and say number 9 over at Circle C is that there's no ceiling up here. You can throw this as high as you like. Now the basket is way down there, if you can see it. So really you've got to throw something that's not quite as stable as what you might like. And there are trees in the way if you take a low path. So it's an interesting and fun little hole that I really enjoy playing.
All right, once again going with the Trespass here, and when this disc leaves my hand, I'm thinking I made an ace, and then it hits that tree.
So now comes the walk down this hill. If you ever come out here to play, be careful out here. A lot of these rocks are slippery and loose, and it's pretty easy to turn an ankle. Here, I'll show you.
In late spring and early summer, they reverse this course. They call it see wrong instead of see right, and then you have to play up this hill, which is, as you can imagine, not fun. The hole still plays as a par 3. I don't know how you would ever make a 3 on this hole playing up it, but that's how it plays. So the kick off the tree left me in the middle of the fairway here, and I've got 189 feet, but I do not execute a very good upshot here. I was trying to throw something that would kind of spike into the green, and I kind of threw it up in the air and put myself in this bush, and now I have this shot to make par, and I don't make it. Not a very well played hole. I mean, the tee shot was fine. I just got unlucky and hit a branch, but the 3 shots since the tee shot were bad, and I made it. So, not a great hole. Not super happy with that.
All right, I'm on the 16th hole. The wind is starting to come up. I don't know if you can see the trees waving in the background or hear it, but the wind is definitely starting to come up, which makes this course play much harder. Fortunately, I only have 3 holes to go, and 2 of those are not particularly difficult holes if you throw a decent shot. It's no guarantee for me, but you know, there's always hope. So this par 3 is just a matter of finding the fairway that's tree lined on both sides. If you go in those trees, par is virtually impossible. So really what you want to do is take it up and over to the left of this path that you can see here, over those trees, and let your disc kind of float into the fairway on a forehand. On a backhand, you'd want to go to the right of that path, of course, far right of it, with something very stable that's going to bring you back into the open fairway.
If you're a righty backhand player, you can play a big spike hyzer here. You kind of have to. If you're a forehand player, this is kind of the throw, but I get a little too stable and I end up in trouble, as you will see in just a second. So I'm walking down the path that I highlighted in the whole overview there, and this is that opening that you're shooting for, and you can see there are just trees all around it. You're trying to spike into this opening, and then that opening directly in front of me here is where the basket is. It's kind of through that opening and then to the right a little bit. So finding this opening is imperative. If you don't find this gap in this fairway, you don't have much going at that basket. And you're about to see what I have, which is not much.
So remember how I was saying there's really no shot from these trees? Well, that's what I'm looking at. The basket is right there. The disc is right there. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but I got to figure something out, I guess.
So what I eventually figure out is if I step out in a little patent pending, I've got this path right here to the basket. I've just got to kind of throw it hard-ish. And somehow I get through all the branches and get up there. There was a great golf player named Nick Price who used to say, the better I get, the luckier I get. And this is an example of that. I should not have made par there, but I got supremely lucky on that second shot.
All right, so we're out here at 17 on Searight. This is a little dogleg left that goes around these bushes. Tight little gap you have to shoot here. If you try to go high, you end up going up in these trees in the distance. If you go low, you have to shoot this gap. It's not an easy shot, and you kind of have to throw a right-hand backhand on it. You can't really throw any kind of forehand that's going to get to the basket or get near it. So it's a short hole, so hopefully I can just get a mid-range down there and give myself a look.
This is another throw that when it leaves my hand, I'm happy with it, and then it kicks off a tree.
All right, friends, we're on the 18th hole here. So just a kind of smooth dogleg right. You'd think it sets up pretty well for someone who throws a forehand like me. But there are some trees in the way down by the green, and there's this tree right here that will occasionally stop my shots from going anywhere and kick them into the woods and crap like that. So it's pretty important to miss that tree. When I'm feeling brave, I try to go to the left of it, but most of the time I just try to go right of it, and I, play for par, take my par, and I'm happy with par. Guys, as always, it's been my pleasure to show you around this disc golf course. I have a great time coming out here making these videos. It's a lot of fun. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I do. I don't know if that's weird to say, but I do. I enjoy it a lot. I have a lot of fun making these videos, even when I'm not playing very well. If you would, hit the like and subscribe button for me. It really helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it.
So I'm 66 feet from this basket. No real trouble around it, as you can see. So I'm planning on running this. And I don't throw a great putt. It gets up in the air, it starts hyzering out on me. I'm actually a little worried at this point that it might be further than what is a comfortable distance for me. But I managed to convert that and make a par.
Well, there we go, guys. I finished, I think 3 over for the round. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the scores are right here. Played pretty well. I can't putt for crap. I don't have a very strong backhand, as you may have noticed, but it's serviceable, and it's getting better. I guess that's about it. I'm Todd, coming at you from Searight Disc Golf Course in Austin, Texas, and there are no pictures on the scorecard.